to another video, and on today's video we're going to be talking about the final results and what your setup should look like. So as you can see here, we are already in the acquisition pipeline. I was already trying and just testing things out, but everything seems to be good. So you have your acquisition and you have your VA pipeline. This client has other pipelines, that's why you see them there, but the only ones we created the acquisition and the VA. So if you click VA pipeline, you should be able to pull up everything that we've worked on. So you have the replied, you have the leads, you have this acquisition pipeline move. When you book the appointment, it's going to move it to your acquisition pipeline. You got the future, which this client wanted this to be called future. Hours, the one that we created on YouTube, just says not now here. But it's the same thing. It's still a workflow that sends messages to people that are not ready, that need future, that are going to be closed in the future, that type of thing. So it's the same thing. This is still a campaign for people that are not ready, not now. Then the missed call, not interested, DNC, and wrong number. Everything should work perfectly. Remember, the future for you guys is not now. The missed calls, start a campaign. These two start a campaign. These two remove, and then this is a wrong number. Now, this replied is the first one here. It's the first stage, and that's exactly what we're going to be covering in the next video. So in the next video, we're finally going to be creating our campaign and creating the replied trigger for that campaign. Because remember, every single campaign needs a trigger for it that is replied. And basically, I'm going to be showing you guys that in the next video. We're working on the next one. The lead, we have this set up. This is for people that are showing an interest. And if the VA qualifies them with the 4 pillars and finds out, the motivation and has scheduled a call, you can go in and book the appointment. So you'll click here. You click this appointment. You'll click add new. And from here, you will just select the new qualified lead push to manager pipeline. For you guys, it should say VA submit here. You can always change that, but make sure it just mentions something about new leads being pushed, because the other calendar is just for following up. It's not for pushing into your acquisition CRM. So we'll click book appointment. You can select the time slots and the day, and you'll click book. Now, if you followed everything correctly, you should get a text message to your phone saying, hey, you got a lead. This is the name, this is the address, and this is the number, and this is the time. So if you did it correctly, you should have gotten that message. You can see here, we just booked the appointment for this Kevin Boyle. And now he is in our acquisition pipeline move stage. And in the acquisition pipeline, he is going to be right here in the set appointment. This is pretty cool. Now you can do whatever you really want. This is now your acquisition, so you got the message, so there's a lead here. You'll make time, you'll call, ask them more questions about the motivation and try to close the deal. So pretty much from here, you would just click on this contact and you would go in and text them, send an email if that's how you're communicating, and you can click this little green button here so you can call them and just have conversations. Over here in the notes, you can create notes of what's going on. In tasks, you can create tasks for specific dates of things that you need. And here in activity, just pretty much, I guess, you can see what's been going on for the contact. You have the tags, and here's where all your tags are going to go. If you tag a lead, not interested, DNC, anything is going to go in here. You'll tag it. So we can now go ahead and put this into the hot. Let's pretend we talked to this person and they said, yeah, you know what? They do want to sell their house right away and whatnot. You'll move it into the hot. Same with the other ones. If it's warm, you move it to the warm. If it's cold, you move it to the cold. Find comps, under contract, deal closed, and dead, right? So we'll click on this contact again. As you can see, this contact has already been tagged hot. Right here, you can say it says AM for acquisition manager and hot. So now that it says hot here, what does this mean? This just means that we can easily find this client if we wanted to send more messages at a time. So let me explain that. So this is the hot, right? You can move them to the warm, the cold, find comps, any of these stages, and it's going to tag automatically because we created the pipeline manual move triggers. So if we move this over here, it's going to tag warm. We can actually click on it and we can see it says warm now in here. Now, why is that useful that we are tagging every single stage as we go? That's useful because if you go into your contacts, okay, so in here, what you can do is go into this more filter and you can actually filter. So you can do tag name, tag is hot. So we can search for hot. We can search for warm actually because that's where it is. So we'll go and search warm right here. Apply. And as you can see, we have one that's warm. But let's say that we had 10 contacts that were tagged warm, right? Because it's going to happen when you're sending a lot of messages. You're going to build your pipeline. So if you have 10 messages here, 10 leads, right? You can actually click here and it'll select all those leads. And then you can click this send email, add to another campaign if you want to. Or you could just send them all one follow-up message. So you can click send SMS. Like that. And then it's going to say send SMS to the following contacts, right? But you could send bulk messages here. So everyone, if there's 30 clients in the warm, 10 clients, you can select all of them and you can send them one message at a time. That's so much faster than you going one by one by one. You'll follow up with everyone. So you can just say, hey, and use these contact fields. So, hey, first name, how are you doing? Can we schedule a quick call? You know, something like that, right? And you can click send SMS, and I'll guess you have to put something in action here. You could put whatever, some numbers. So you can click send SMS, and it's gonna send everyone in that tag this message. As you can see now, that's very powerful because if you filter by the tags, you can find those clients and you can send them all bulk SMS. So you don't have to go one by one by one. If you click this SMS, it's going to say, hey, Smith, how you doing? Can we schedule a call? Hey, Samantha, how you doing? Can we schedule a call? Hey, Albert. It's going to say that message to every single lead that was tagged warm. Very helpful. As you can see, we'll move it more down the pipeline and it'll tag cold. It'll find comps. So as you can see, it's tagging as we go, cold. Under contract, so you could easily be able to filter for this and send bulk SMSs or even put them in a campaign. Because look, this is the cold stage right here. Like, wouldn't you want to grab all these cold leads and just put them in a follow-up campaign? So this is closed here or dead. Maybe you want to put all the dead leads in a follow-up campaign. You can do that by going to contacts and filtering. Okay, so as you can see, this is now tagged dead because we created those pipeline manual moves, so it actually deletes any other tags. So this is how your system should look. This is pretty much it. As far as, you know, the few campaigns that are here in the VA pipeline, you can always, for the future, the missed call, you can always go into your workflows and you can always edit that. Okay, so even if you don't want a campaign, you can just delete, like go into your workflow and delete some stuff or add some stuff. Maybe you want it longer. You can do that. This is the campaign, right? The not now campaign. As you can see, there's messages here that send as soon as you tag future or not now. And it's pretty cool, but if you don't want it to be this long, you can always change it, okay? Same thing with the missed call. This starts a campaign as well when you tag or move it there. And for this missed call workflow, all you would really have to do, if you don't want this, you just would have to delete it. honestly. But this is just going to send them a text saying, hey, we missed your call. Call them again, wait a day, call again, wait a day, call, wait, call. And yeah, pretty much. And how you would call these leads is by going to conversations. And then in conversations, go to manual actions, and you can actually use the single line dialer that's there. So conversations, and you will click this let's start button, and you can just start calling right away. It'll call all those leads that were put in the missed call. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire setup. You should be ready to just take off right after the next video. Remember, the next video we will finally be covering creating a campaign and that reply trigger, and you'll be able to send your list and create as many campaigns as you want, right? So yep, stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much it for the VA and the acquisition pipeline. That's how it should look like, and that's what you should do.